So this guy, for Ortho4, if you notice, this was a cylinder, and it had a hole through it, right? The center line passes all the way through, indicating that it's a hole, not just a circle. So this is essentially just like a tube. And I know that the outside of this is the diameter too. So let's draw this guy. Now I guess it's like a kind of a real thing we're drawing, not just a theoretical, right? So I'm gonna go to circle. I'm gonna grab diameter, and I'm gonna make a diameter 2 circle. It should look something like that. And from there, I'm gonna spin this guy, and I want to extrude this thing a length of 4. They tell me that this is a 2-inch by 4-inch tube. So I have a cylinder now that is 2-inch diameter and is 4 inches tall. And just to keep it simple, I'm going to draw on the top of this. And I know that I have to draw a diameter 0.75 circle. So this is kind of how this works. I'm going to, again, get a diameter circle. And I'm going to reference, I'm just going to hover on the outside to like get the center point. See that guy? Yeah, man.
So when you made us do the view thing last time, my top view is still technically my right view.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Remember, it's in space, so
Because of what you had, the west, south, east.
don't worry about the compass. So now, like I said, we're gonna hover till we get that center point, and right on that center point, we're going to draw this 0.75 circle. Did I lose anybody with that?
Could you have done that before? No.
Could you have drawn at the same time and then extrude one? Sure, we did.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know if it just go one at a time or.
So here's the kind of interesting part. If you go to view and you change this to conceptual, you're going to notice that we just drew a circle on the face of another object, right? That's kind of how we were talking before. It's really difficult, in my opinion, to grab these things, features on a surface. And here's why. When this program recognizes this as a solid object, it also recognizes that there's a material associated with it. By this, it's called generic, honestly. It's just a gray, like unassociated to material strength, blah. Like it has no density, it has no volume, it's just blah. So it does give you a material, it just isn't like associated to anything. When we get a little further, we're gonna actually put like wood on there. And if it's red oak, then it has all of the density properties of red oak. If it's aluminum, then it has all the properties of aluminum. So it'll actually give you mass and density calculations. It's pretty awesome.
Does it go like in depth, like for gauge?
So
Remember different gauges.
it will do some for like, you did like 3 or 4
A
stainless
gauge,
or
gauge.
something like that. As far as gauge, it uses a
thickness.
block of alloy. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just.
You
asking.
could draw, like you could extrude the gauge, and it would be appropriate. But so here's the downside of that. The material here kind of makes it limiting to grab features on there. And what I almost every semester / year fight with students about is it's fun to draw in conceptual, but it's not very efficient. So I would encourage you to draw in this wireframe. To see how easy it is to grab that feature now, no material in the way. Okay, this is just like if you wanted to reach into a garbage can, but it had a lid on it, it's harder to reach into the garbage can, right? So same idea. If I'm trying to grab this feature, there's material in the way. If I'm in conceptual, realistic, shades of gray, etc., etc. If I'm in wireframe, now it's just the framing, and I have no problem picking. So although not as jazzy, I think it's much easier to work functionally. So, why am I telling you all that? Well, we're going to extrude this guy. In order to do that, I need to grab it, extrude, and I'm going to extrude it down all the way through. See what I'm doing here? All the way through the 4-inch cylinder that we just made. So I was here. I'm just pulling all the way through. I'm not going to stop at the end. I'm going to pull it past there. Now, some people, they know that this is an extrusion of 4, so they would type 4. But for this particular feature, we're going to get rid of this thing. We're going to take it out of there, a cut or subtraction. So I'm going to pull it right past and put it down somewhere. It doesn't matter. Did I lose anybody on that one? Great. So from here, you're going to notice on solid editing, there's a whole bunch of things. And for now, I just want to talk about these ones. So if you hover on them, they actually give you this little animation to show you union is for putting two things together. The next one down, subtract is for taking things apart. And we won't get to this tonight for sure, but intersect is for drawing two intersecting profiles. You can see what they've done here is they've actually drawn the green, extruded it, and then they're like, okay, look, I want this bracket to be offset slightly. So I've drawn the wave, the quote-unquote offset pattern, and then I've put the two of them together, and where they touch, it's going to keep the geometry. Okay, so they call that intersect. That'll make a little more sense down the road. But those are Boolean operations, these guys right here. Okay? So putting together a union, subtracting is taking things out, and then intersect is where they touch, which, like I said, we'll get back to that. Okay. Everybody good with this? Did I lose anybody on the circle and the circle? Okay, so we're going to do this. Watch. This works backwards than how you think it would. You're going to hit subtract, which is the second one down. And then you have to tell the program what you're going to subtract from, which is very odd, but that's how it works. Again, I didn't write the code, just telling you how it works. So I'm going to hit subtract. I'm going to tell the program what I'm subtracting from, enter, what I'm getting rid of, enter. Like I said, it's a little backwards from how most people are used to thinking. Okay? So again, I'm going to hit subtract. I'm going to tell it what I'm subtracting from, enter, and then what I'm getting rid of, enter.
Then you rinse it out.
Yep. So that, what that just did, if you take a look at view now, when we go to any of the solids, so conceptual, it's just the closest one. So you're going to notice that now I have a hole that goes all the way through that guy.
It's paper towel.
Yay, Ronnie.
Paper towels.
Okay, so there's my tube. Pretty easy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I guess relatively.
No, paper towel, it's a silencer.
Toilet paper.
Anybody need me to do that part again? Can we move on to the next thing? Okay, so I want to show you this one, and then I promise if you get this and you're like, all right, fine, I can do it, you're more